All right. Here we are. Hello, hello. Good evening. Super evening for some, kind of evening for others. All right, we're going to make sure. I'm pretty sure the audio is working well today, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Okay. I think that's how we do it. Okay. Hey, everyone. Okay, so hope everybody had a good day. I had a pretty intense day because I made the mistake of watching the news earlier this morning during the shambles, the three-ring circus that was going on. So my day was pretty interesting. I was pretty on fire. But I've come down a little bit. We're going to wait for a couple people to get in here. And I've got a really good story to tell you today. Really good story to tell you. And it's so... Well, I'm going to try not to say 200 times today, too. That's my goal, to bring it down a notch. And we have our second oldest son with us today, so you can say hi. He loves being out and about. He's super social. Nothing like me. I'm not super social at all, but he's a guy who goes out there and makes all kinds of friends. So let's get started. I want to talk about GoFundMe, and I have a really good story to tell you. This happened recently. So let's see. I don't know if you remember, but BCP was covering the there you go. He was covering the event in Salem, Oregon, where they were trying to get access to the public meeting at the Capitol, and things went really south. It got hectic. It got violent. Bear mace, broken windows. It was kind of like the beginning of. It almost seemed like maybe it was kind of like the beginning for the Patriots to actually stand up against some stuff and try to actually get into the public, what was supposed to be public meetings. But what happened was one of our fellow Americans decided that he was going to sacrifice that day. I mean, he was going to either get in or be arrested. And what it came down to was he ended up sitting, once they got into the Capitol, and they were just right outside the door. Inside, they were right outside the big meeting hall, and he decided to sit down on the ground, cross-legged, unarmed, non-aggressive, and he knew that he was going to get arrested that day. So that's what happened. He did. He ended up getting arrested. And I decided to set up a GoFundMe for him because for bail and also for any coming legal battle that he may have regarding the situation. So the day I set up the GoFundMe was, let's see, I originally set it up on December 21st. And it was for, titled A Fellow American. And I told the story, much like I just told it now. And we reached his goal, that day. it was a massive outreach. Fellow Americans came and really wanted to help out. Reached the goal that day. On the 22nd, I received an email saying that withdrawals had been put on hold. Okay. I wasn't sure why. But it said that I needed to do something else to get things rolling again. So I sent an email back on the 22nd and copy and pasted what I had received about the important message from GoFundMe and how to address the situation. That was on the 22nd. On the 24th, I received an email back from the GoFundMe team saying that they were writing to inform me that the GoFundMe had been removed due to a violation of our terms and service. Sound familiar? Oh, this gets really good, guys. This gets really good. Share this out, because this is, once you see what actually happened here, you might start wondering, and you may have people who have donated to GoFundMe in the past, and this could have affected them as well. And it doesn't matter what the cause. It could be a good cause. There was nothing wrong with this cause, and I'll go more into depth into that too. So it had been removed due to a violation of the terms and service, and then they provided a link that I went to. It fell under the prohibited conduct section. So I went to the link and I read through, and it said that they don't allow crowdfunding for anything that has to do with hate speech or breaking the law or anything like that, which our fellow American didn't break the law. There was no hate involved. It was a ridiculous notion, but we know how they operate. So I didn't attempt to fight it. That was on the December 24th. And in that email telling me that it had been taken down, they ended it by saying, any donations made to our fundraiser that have not been withdrawn have been refunded and will be returned to your donors within 3 to 7 business days. I let it go. I reached out to our friend and let him know that that's what had happened, and I moved on and created a new fund with a different platform. On January 4th, I had been connecting with the friend back and forth, and we were trying to figure out what was going on with the refunds, because I had only received 2 emails regarding refunds to 2 people. And I knew that there had been like at least 30 people who had donated. So here we are trying to figure out what's going on with the refunds. He starts doing some research, and come to find out, you have to request a refund. So that got me thinking. I was like, why would you need to request a refund to a campaign that they removed? And the email said that the donations would be returned within 3 to 7 business days. So on January 4th, this is day 6. I decided to send an email because now I'm aware. This is 10 days. 10 days later. Now I'm aware of what's going on. So I asked them, tell me why you haven't notified the donates of this campaign being removed and refunded all of their money. So 2 things happened here. They sent me the email saying that they would return the funds within 3 to 7 business days, but they never notified the donators that the campaign had even been removed. nor had they refunded their money. So when our fellow American went and looked to see that you had to request a refund, how would they have known when they weren't even notified that it had been removed? I mean, they're thinking that the campaign had received their money, the donations. So the next day, I received a response to that, and they reiterated that they cannot process the payments for a fundraiser that they deem in their sole discretion to be for legal defense of alleged crimes associated with hate, violence, harassment, bullying, discrimination, terrorism, or intolerance of any kind relating to race, ethnicity, national origin, gender, all this other stuff, right? You may view a copy of our terms of service by following this link. So my issue with this response was I wasn't disputing in my original email. I was asking why they hadn't notified the donators and returned their money. And I told them that this was a scam. So that was kind of a cookie cutter response they gave me. I responded again. This was a strongly worded email filled with sarcasm, but I was really frustrated with this individual because they didn't actually read my email and notice that I wasn't disputing it, but that I was asking why they hadn't notified and refunded. Those were the only two questions that I had. There was at least 30 people that I can remember. So they closed the whole account too. So I had no access to the information. I had no access to who donated so that I could reach out to them and let them know that it had been taken down, so that I could tell them to request a refund. I had no idea. And to request a refund, you had to jump through some hoops, because the person I set up the GoFundMe for actually donated to their self too, and, thanked everybody and all this. So they actually could, that's why he went and looked to see how to request a refund. Here, don't put your mouth over there. To figure out how to request a refund, and you had to jump through some hoops. So, their sign-off says GoFundMe, trust and safety. And I let them know that, one, they're not trustworthy or safe. They're scammers. And that they were to give the people back their money immediately. Now, this, on January 5th, is now day 7. So the original email that I got said 3 to 7 business days. This is day 7. Only 2 people had received their refunds, and 1 received a refund because they requested the money. Several hours later, the same day, January 5th, I received another email saying, Jamie, we can confirm the refunds have been issued just now. Your donors can expect their funds returned within 3 to 7 business days. Again. 2 minutes later, I kid you not, that was at 3:32. 2 minutes later, I received 49 emails noting every single refund. That revealed there had been 53 donators, and only 2 of them had received a refund automatically, and 2 had actually requested a refund, and 49 others had no idea that the campaign had been taken down and had not received their money. So what would have happened to all that money? They would have literally just made a bunch of money because nobody knew. I wasn't going to say anything because they told me it was going to be refunded. And I let it go back on December 24th. It wasn't until January 4th when I started collaborating and communicating with our the person I set the campaign up for, and we started communicating and trying to put some of this stuff together, and was like, okay, hold on a second. What's going on? This is crazy. So imagine you have donated to causes with GoFundMe. They may be good ones. I think we all kind of decide if we're willing to give our money, we think it's a good cause. But what if GoFundMe doesn't think it's a good cause? Do you actually know if every donation that you've given has gone to the campaign individual? Or has GoFundMe kept your money and not revealed that the campaign has been taken down? That is very scary. And this comes on the heels of PayPal this comes on the heels of PayPal actually backing out from being a payment option with GiveSendGo, the Christian crowdfunding site, because they what was the let's see, I have it here.
PayPal.
So the crowdfunding site is being used by the Proud Boys, and so PayPal decided to pull their funding option, their payment option from GiveSendGo after the January 6th U.S. Capitol siege is what the title said. Everything's always so sensational. So they're cutting ties with GiveSendGo. So now you can't even... So at some point, GiveSendGo is probably going to go down, because what if Stripe decides to pull out too? So what's interesting is just this morning, I received a email from GoFundMe with a suggestion of where I could donate to the American Dream Fund. It's probably a good fund. I don't know. But I will never give my money to any donation probably again. And this hurts people. There'll have to be another way that we can crowdfund without having to go through these platforms, because look what's happening. I can't imagine how many campaigns GoFundMe has taken down and kept the money and never once told anybody. The double standard comes here. If you go in and you search GoFundMe bail money, there are tons of GoFundMes for people who need bail money. And what's sickening is this one says these organizations use donated funds to post bail bonds for jailed people of color. That's really what this is all about. It's another racial divide. Another one that I read, they used bail money for, let's see. What was that one that I read? Oh, it was GoFundMe. Somebody actually asked what they use their funds for. They use their funds for materials for protests, rallies, demonstrations, and events. Security. Why would it be okay and bail? So they're being they can use their money for bail when they're burning, looting, and destroying everything, and that's not considered breaking the law. That is just crazy. That is absolutely crazy. This definitely needs to be shared out to everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us, guys. America 2.0, Jerry, Linda. Yeah, this needs to be shared out, because GoFundMe has made a lot of money. I know they have. Made a lot of money on not telling people that campaigns have been taken down and keeping their money. It's an absolute scam. It's the best scam. Once you really once I really started looking into all these emails and everything that happened, and the fact that once I emailed them my strongly worded email, they had those refunds out in 2 minutes. How did I get 49 emails in 2 minutes notifying me of every single refund? Just that quick. But it hadn't happened in the initial 7 days that they had said. And I just let it go. And some of these bail GoFundMes, this one's $3 million. And here we were, ours was for $500. And it was taken down. I mean, we surpassed that because our fellow Americans are awesome.
Yes, they are.
The Patriots are awesome.
Yes, they are.
And they were so helpful. But these other ones, $3 million, and it's still running. I mean, it's $2 million past what their original goal was, and it's still up and up and running. And that's just one of many, you know. So I wanted to get this out there. I wanted to tell this story because it is so important that we know where our money's going. And it's tough these days because every conservative site is in jeopardy. It doesn't matter what it is. And we see that. I mean, even crowdfunding. It doesn't matter what it is. It's in jeopardy. Doesn't matter if it's a social media site. Doesn't matter if it's a crowdfunding site. Doesn't matter if it's a store, an online business, or whatever it may be. Doesn't matter if, you know, you make mustard or what was that? Goja. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The beans, they came out supporting Trump, and then all of a sudden they wanted to cancel their company. They made beans. You know, it's it's just ridiculous. Every conservative is under fire at this point. Linda thinks you're so cute. Say hi again.
Hello.
What have you been doing today?
Playing outside.
Playing outside? What did you get for Christmas that you love right now?
A bike.
Yeah? And it's got orange wheels, just like what your shirt is. He was super excited to come on here today and say hi. He's super social, but he's got to warm up a little bit. So, have any of you ever donated to a GoFundMe? Did you know that this was even possible? Please share this out to people and let them know. I know I'm not a dynamic storyteller, but hopefully the information is good enough to get out there, because this really happened. I have all the emails. I've just been reading them. And it's devastating, because it's like they're making money off of people who are being generous. And then, you know, people don't want to be generous anymore because they don't know, it's no longer trustworthy. And the fact that their email signature said trust and safety, I was like, no way. There's no way that this is even real. And then for them to send me a suggestion for a fund today was just absolutely mind-blowing, because they completely closed my account. And I actually had a GoFundMe set up for our own thing, for our labor and delivery, because we needed a midwife last minute, and but they shut down everything, the whole account, and I had no access to it. So it's really scammy. It's the best scam out there. It'd be nice if a lawyer would pick that up, because that's definitely a national thing. But, you know, will a lawyer pick it up? I don't, you know, GoFundMe is a huge deal. So it's hard to fight against these big corporations when we're just the little people. I know. I agree, Jerry. It's like crazy. We can't be the only ones. But do people even pay attention? I mean, if we had never started communicating, would we ever have known? You know, I would have never questioned it. Honestly, I would have never questioned it. That is a full admission, because the email said they'll get their returns in 3 to 7 business days, and I was like, okay, you know. I mean, you're a garbage company for taking down my campaign, but I'm trusting, you know, from a business perspective and just basic human decency, you know, that you would return the money. But they didn't, until they received several strongly worded emails, not just from me, I'm sure. But yeah, I can't. I never donated to one, but I had one set up for my granddaughter battling cancer. Yeah, that's good. You know, just be careful. I guess what I would suggest is, so that, you know, people out there who really do need the money and they are using GoFundMe, unfortunately, because it's, you know, a big option, popular option, keep in contact with the campaign creator. Ask the questions, email them, because I actually did receive 2 emails from people. One person asked if I could give them more details about the situation, which I did. And another one emailed me who was mad, who wanted me to take it down because they were probably, I don't know, they were probably Antifa, who knows, just trying to get it taken down.
Oh, no.
But those were the only 2 people that I was able to have contact with if I wanted to. I mean, neither one of them were donators, but if you actually email the campaign, then the campaign creator will actually have access. So even if their account gets closed down, they still have that email that they could, reach out to you. Because if I had the emails and I tried every way I was pouring through all of the emails that I had, trying to figure out who. Now I did come across a couple of emails that had list of some donators and how much they donated. So all it had was their name and the amount, though. It didn't have any emails or contact information. It just had the name and the amount that they had donated. So, I could take to Facebook and try and find the people. I mean, it would take a lot of work, but I was super willing to do that because, come on, this is people's hard-earned money, and they should know that GoFundMe is going to keep it if they don't request a refund, so I was definitely willing to do that, but it's just sad, it's just really sad. So just stay in contact with the campaign creator. Yeah, big tech has more money. We are seeing one of the biggest power shifts and wealth shifts we've ever seen in this last year. It's crazy. The big companies are getting even more rich, filthy rich. Yeah, who even knows if they pay out the entire amount when they do pay out? Yeah, I know that GoFundMe does keep a portion, and Give, Send, Go, they don't keep. I mean, you can donate because they're free to use, but you can donate some of it to keep them free. However much percentage you want to do, but then there's a transactional fee. So, there's always, it would be best to do something like Cash App or Bitcoin. I hear you don't have to pay any fees on that. I don't know a whole lot about that, so that'd be something you have to look into, but it's hard when it's crowdfunding, and unless you have a platform, it's hard to make sure that people trust what your story is when you're trying to get it out there. And I guess that's why we use things like GoFundMe, because we trust them, and then look what happens. They're totally untrustworthy. They did pick our campaign as one of the donators for their Giving Tuesday. Woke up and they dropped over.
Jerry.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
PayPal.
That's really cool, Linda.
Preacher. www.thebcpreacher.
He's plugging Daddy. What was it again?
The BC Preacher.
Okay. Stop putting your mouth on it. Okay. Awesome. Okay, well, that was the story I wanted to tell, because I definitely want people to hear this. It's important. We got to keep our eyes open. We really do, even more now than ever. We got to keep our eyes open. We've got to be diligent to do the research, to ask the questions, even if they're hard questions, even if they sound like ridiculous questions. We've got to, even if, if it sounds like an obvious, whatever it may be, we've got to ask the questions, because we just never know. You're going to be president one day. You want to be president just like Trump?
Sure.
That's one of his favorite songs. Who sings it? Is it Bryson Gray or Forgiato? Like Trump. I know, but who sings it? Bryson Gray, I think.
Bryson, Forgiato, and like Trump.
That's one of his favorite. Question everything this day and age. Absolutely. All right, guys. We are definitely late dinner eaters. I got into a bad habit of cooking dinner late during this last pregnancy. So we're going to go make some dinner. What do you want to? You want to help me make? He wants to help me make. What do you want to help me make tonight? Say it in there.
Brownies.
Brownies.
And
Yeah,
dinner.
I saw the last end, Connie. I saw the last end of his live that he was doing, talking about it.
Present card.
This is an interesting. I mean, this is an interesting time to be alive right now, definitely. And
Thank you, Jerry.
if you watched any of the impeachment stuff today, it's just watching person after person after person after person get up there and tell lies is just baffling to me. So definitely got to keep our eyes open and stay awake. All right.
Peace.
We're going to see you guys later. Thanks for joining us, and make sure you share this out, subscribe. People need to hear the truth behind what's really going on with their campaigns. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.